1, 2. Just messing about with this to see if I can. Oh, well, I'm definitely live. Hello, Sandra, how are you? Hello, Gert. Hello, how are you? I wasn't supposed to be live. I was just, I was testing. Hello, Anne Rees, how are you? Yeah, I was on StreamYards and I wanted to see if I could bring up other videos on screen, and I didn't realize that I was really live, because sometimes you can pre-record and that. Let me see more shout outs here. Terry, hello. And hello. Jambon Banana, hello. So long since I've been on this. Really, yeah, I was gonna go live at some stage, but I didn't plan to do it today. But however, I'm here now. I'm not going to just run away, So how has everybody been? I didn't even put up my back screen. If I knew I was going completely live, I would have put up my back screen and everything. But that is it, Everybody's saying hello to everybody, which is good. It's great I can actually see the profile pictures because they're much bigger on screen than that, But yeah. Anybody got any news? Anything planned for Halloween or anything like that? Ronnie, hello. Are you and REMPod still going to Cumber House? Of course we are. Thank you very much, Ronnie. Yeah, I haven't been out on an investigation since our last big investigation in Sharon Rectory. Been very, very sick. I can manage those bigger locations, but actually going out to those smaller locations like graveyards and stuff like that, I haven't. I haven't been able to. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I love the location because it's so big, and there's so many rooms, and then you've got different areas like the stables, the basement, the attic, the bar area upstairs, and the rooms on the ground floor as well. It's a brilliant location, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm sick, so can't go to investigation for Halloween. That's Anne. I hope you get better soon, Anne. Yeah, hope you get better soon. And sometimes investigates with Birmingham ghost hunters. Anybody been watching any interesting YouTube paranormal investigations lately? I'd love to hear. In my list of people I watch, it's getting smaller all the time. It's getting so much smaller all the time. I'm just seeing an awful lot. I'm seeing an awful lot of, let me say, fiction being produced. People looking for attention and money and stuff, But this morning, Terry is giving Anne her. Hope you feel better soon. Yeah. I'm just seeing more and more fiction coming up, and people looking for attention and money and stuff like that. I put up a video earlier on a researcher by the name of Annabella Cardoso. A lot of people that are in the paranormal field now, I would say a lot of them had bought equipment because they've seen it on Ghost Adventures and don't have that kind of research. But I think the research is very is very it's very useful, you know, and it's a look into those people that used to do research before the internet even existed. So, you know, very interested in those experiments with EVP using white noise in the background and things like that. And I always was fascinated by the direct radio voices, and I only got one ever broadcast when I was about 17, I think it was, and never had a broadcast since. So you know, it's extremely hard, but you know, I try to experiment around in the background. Barry the Sonic King, hello. Bob Paranormal's here. Hello, Bob Paranormal. Yeah, I didn't plan to come on. I pressed go live and I thought it was set on private because I was doing a bit of a test. You know, I was seeing will StreamYards bring up some, you know, some images that I have on my computer and things like that. And it turned out I was completely live. So yeah, you know. And I need to understand. I need to understand radios. I need to start understanding radios. I get the voice all right, but no clue as how they are communicating or what frequency they come on. Yeah, on the single frequencies is very difficult. I haven't seen a modern researcher get direct radio voices. I have never seen it on camera. I've only seen these older researchers do it, and yeah, I haven't seen what we see now is the multiple frequencies, the you know, the scanned frequencies. We see that, but we don't see the single frequencies very often. I haven't seen any modern researcher getting direct radio voices. I haven't seen it on YouTube anyway, you know. My new drone camera has just been delivered. Nearly chopped my fingers off twice with it already. Oh, I have on top of the microwave there, a drone which has been sitting there for the last year because it's only been out once, and I cut my finger open with it once, and the first time I went out with it was the last time I went out. It went straight up into the air, and as an emergency landing, I just pressed home, and it landed about half a mile away in the middle of a field full of sheep, and those sheep just running everywhere. And I had to climb over this big gate to get in at it, but it landed perfectly. But I just panicked. It went up so far that I couldn't see it, you know. All I want a drone to do is just go up a certain height and just hover. I don't need it to do an awful lot of stuff. But you know, that was last summer. It wasn't the summer just gone by. I didn't go out with my drone at all this summer, you know. Kevin is here. Hello, Kevin. If anybody hasn't heard of Kevin, Kevin is a researcher in the United States, and you know, get to know each other, folks. Not big in live streaming, but wanted to say hello. Yeah, what got on my nerves the other day was Mr. MS saying, "Oh, you know, I just go live, and you know, I have no plans to do edited videos or anything like that. I just go live, and you know, it's up on YouTube, and I don't have to do anything with it. You know, going live still means that you still have to research your findings when you go home. You know, paranormal investigation continues when you go home. So I don't know what some of these people are at. Well, I have an idea. You know, it's getting scary videos out. You know, but I sometimes do these lives, but I do them at home. Orbs Realm, Another very good channel. Hello. Yeah, good to see you. Oh yeah, and he said hello to me earlier on here. Yeah, another good channel. Get to know each other. If you don't know anybody in the chat, say hello and all the rest of it. I haven't been live in a long time, so I'm a little bit nervous. And as I said, it was only testing, so I didn't have anything planned at all. So what we have planned on Halloween night, I'm not doing an investigation. I might on the way home. I possibly will, but I'm going to go to the festival in town here in Derry. Halloween is a very big festival in Northern Ireland, especially Derry. Everybody comes from all around to see the fireworks and the parade and stuff like that. And the fireworks are absolutely fantastic. If you type into search Eisenhower Halloween 2017 or 2018, what they had was drones directly above the fireworks looking down, and especially 2017, the B-roll that was in that was absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. I'm shy when it comes to live. I'm shy too. I'm shy too. I'm extra shy tonight because I pressed live and I wasn't planning to go live, So yeah. I'm very, very frustrated that I haven't been able to get out and do my bits and pieces of investigations and stuff. What I plan to do in the future is what I've seen an awful lot on YouTube. I've seen an awful lot of paranormal investigators on YouTube copying everybody else. They go to a location and the first thing to do is take out the spurt box, and then after that they take out the paratech, and then they do an EVP session, and they have this kind of routine going on. I intend to change all that, the way we investigate, because the first time we went to Sharon Rectory, we took an awful load of equipment, and even the last time we went, which was a couple of weeks ago, we took an awful load of equipment with us as well, and we didn't use half of it. A lot of it for us was listening out and that. Michael Patrick Vlogs is in the house. Hello. I'm not keeping great, but I'm better than what I was. I just managed to get out today, and I was actually going to go and film for a little while. I had my camera in my bag and stuff, and it started to rain. We were getting an awful lot of not so good weather, and there's my seat going down. Guys, don't buy one of these seats in B&M. They're rubbish. Right, it's going to stay up for now. I was waiting for that to happen. I have a haunted. It's gone down again. Will it stay? I knew this was going to embarrass me at some stage. It's just. Yeah, I'd be sitting here editing, and next thing, down I go. Without warning, Yeah. Yeah, I bought it a couple of weeks ago, and I can't leave it back because I spilled a little bit of super glue on it. Major Long Sausage, hello. How are you doing? Yeah, I get to know each other in the chat. A lot of these live streams, the host talks for a while, and then the people in the chat start talking to each other, But yeah. What we plan to do, what I plan to do anyway, is try and go into town and film the parade. There's an awful lot going on at that festival for Halloween night, and then we have the fireworks in the middle of the River Foyle. What to do is to bring a big barge into the middle of River Foyle, and they set off a load of fireworks. It's absolutely spectacular, and we used to be able to see it. 2017, we were able to see it from my balcony, but since then they've built 3-story houses right in front of me, and it just ruins it. People saying hello to each other. Oh God, you're supposed to be getting snow soon, Samantha. Well, I'll be prepared for that because I got one of these one-piece suits. I just hope we don't get snow. I don't like it. I find it hard enough to walk without snow. Dr. Annabella's video, I have to say, was the best thing I have listened to. It was just brilliant knowledge, and I thank you, Sam, for sharing it. That's okay. That channel has only got 237 subscribers, and it's way under the radar. But I decided I would do a little promotion on that and see what people interested in that. And it's fallen like a lead balloon because people, a lot of people on YouTube that are looking at YouTube content are out for the thrill seekers. Those people that go into scary graveyards and put scary music and then start going, whoa, bro, and these things, and there's a demon after me and all the rest of it. And a lot of them don't know anything about this older research, and I think an awful lot of them don't give a shit about it actually. But I think it's very, very important. We're using equipment, and to know the history, I think it's very, very important that we know what we're using, It's because people are more interested in paranormal nowadays. Yeah, I mean, like what these older researchers, what really gets on their goat is groups of paranormal investigators going into graveyards and taking out spirit boxes and stuff like that. The actual things that we do, and they call us thrill seekers. But a lot of these people don't even know this history. They just don't know the history, and they buy the equipment. They buy the equipment because they've seen it on Ghost Adventures, and that's the history they know. I could listen to. Let me see that. I could listen to what she had to say for hours. She only has about 7 videos at the moment. She doesn't often do videos every couple of months or whatever. But I've looked at those videos twice, twice or 3 times. It's great knowledge, Paranormal people, hello Mags, how are you? You're right, Kevin. Anybody doesn't know Mags and about paranormal, give them some support as well. Get to know each other, folks. We're all a kind of a community here. Hello, welcome to the chat. The unplanned chat. I don't even have my back screen on. I just pressed live. I didn't realize it was live. I thought it was a private. Looking forward to Cumber House, I must say. Just love that location. It's an indoor location, so you're not climbing in windows and you're not in the dirt and that. You bring in your equipment and you have the lights, you have the electricity there and stuff like that. I think what changed the way I do paranormal investigating was my first investigation just over a month ago in Sharon Rectory. It was To me, it just changed everything. And what we heard in that basement, and people heard with their own ears, it just shocked me. And you know, if you've seen that video and you heard, oh, that's a man's voice, and you could hear the fear, that was actually one of the people that own the house. So I needed to see stuff like that for myself, and it was the one time where there was that little bit of fear inside me, wondering what the hell is going on, because we were downstairs in this cellar, and you could hear the footsteps walking across above us, and there was no one there, like, you know. Just love this feature of being able to bring the comments up. I can read them better, You know. Don't know many people's in the chat though. It just doesn't show. Doesn't show. Orbs Realm. Those some of those videos that you put up about orbs and stuff are absolutely fascinating, and the way that they're the way that they're presented is absolutely brilliant. Where do I explore? I don't know if that question is towards me or is it. I don't know if that question is towards me, but I, at the moment, explore locally in local places, cemeteries, forests, beaches, abandoned buildings, abandoned houses. Don't do as much of the abandoned houses as I did. I had a little bit of a scare a while back where I entered an abandoned property and almost got myself into bother. I had to remove the video and block everybody that was giving out stink about my trespassing. So just be very, very careful of where you do these investigations or these videos or explores and that. Damn no darly, damn no darly. I've been in the basement of Sharon Rectory. My wife is related to the family. Definitely a hair raising experience. Yeah, I mean, like we got on two occasions. We got the picked up on audio the barking of a dog, and even if there was a dog outside, which there wasn't, you're not going to hear it on the ground. If it was a neighbour's dog, I mean, you're talking about a very big piece of property of land around the house, and the nearest house is a good distance away. You're definitely not going to hear a dog barking in the basement. Like, so, there's an awful lot going on. But like the last investigation was an awful lot quieter to the first one. I was kind of expecting that. I wasn't expecting the same amount of activity each time. Uh, I'm behind on the jet, folks. I spent about 5 hours going through my uploads, but I do want to get out more. Yeah, it's when I'm not well and stuff like that, I do spirit box sessions in the house, but people start getting sick of them, you know. And another part of that research is the hallway behind me where I have some supposedly haunted objects, dolls and stuff. Very, very skeptic of haunted dolls and that. And I was very embarrassed to actually, do those kind of videos, but people want them. People want to know, and the people want to know the real truth. You get these videos. I'm Jay Station. He cuts dolls open in the middle at 3 a.m. and all that crap. But you got these paranormal investigators, and they've got these dolls, and they're treating them with such respect. And I had to look into that side of things. Uh, did an old church, 1400, with my daughter, 11. At night, we could have young children playing. We could hear young children playing, but we couldn't locate where it was coming from. We did catch it on audio, unfortunately. Yeah, I had that experience actually in a mental hospital, abandoned mental hospital here in Derry, and yeah, I couldn't figure out where these children's noises were coming from. You know. To go live if I saw a ghost. If I saw a ghost, I'd pass out. Anxiety. The thing is, YouTube is a platform for entertainment, and some of these paranormal investigators they see an opportunity to make some money and to get more subscribers and stuff like that. But what they have to do is they have to have activity in every single video, so they have to push it and they have to push the boundaries, and that's when things start getting silly, you know. People that are viewers, a lot of them they want to see scary videos, and with the real paranormal, you're not going to see scary videos. You're going to see people sitting in an abandoned building with absolutely nothing happening 90% of the time. And he said, I always treat my spirited doll with utmost respect. Now, when I read that comment, and more and more people are using spirited dolls rather than haunted dolls, because so many people have been using the word haunted doll, and it's associated with some of these people like I'm J Station, and people are starting to use spirited dolls instead to break away from that, and it's completely understandable. It's a frightening experience, but I've seen a few. Paranormal people of Purgatory Pursuits, New York. Hello, Samantha, like Afterlife TV Productions. Hello to you. Do you know? Yeah, I wanted to. I'm skeptic of a lot of things, but instead of just throwing those theories out the window, I would look into them as well. So that's why I have my strange dolls and strange artifacts. In fact, there's a couple of dolls out there that actually um, are from charity shops where the staff says, "Can you please get rid of this doll because it's freaking us all out?" And what I had to do there was I had to start asking questions, and in some cases it is internal fear, but there was one occasion where there was two dolls together, and they were twins, they were a boy and a girl, and the staff member says that girl doll, there's something up with that girl doll, and I'm saying, I picked up the doll and I put it up close to her, and I says, "What do you feel when I put this doll up to you?" And he said, "I'm freaked out," but it had a scary face, and I decided I would ease her mind. I would take the two dolls. When I took the two dolls home, and I ran it through EMF readings and that, and there was no EMF reading of the boy doll, but there was a reading of the girl doll, and these dolls are made from plastic. Um, and I thought maybe I picked up some static in that, so I tried grounding the possible static out of it. I was still getting readings of between 3 and 5 milligauss, which it shouldn't be with object made out of plastic and cloth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like I was pretty, I was kind of when I started doing the research on the dolls and stuff, when I unboxed the first doll, I was saying this might not go down well. But there's people out there that wants to see this and that, and I want to try and do it in the most respectful way and the most logical way possible. And I don't people, you got these stories about Robert the Haunted Doll and Annabelle the Haunted Doll and the possessions involved. I don't necessarily believe that spirits possessed dolls. I think it was more sort of like a trigger object, that it's attracting spirits more than anything else. But I'm only early into that research, so I just don't know. But I find it very, very difficult to believe that spirit energy possesses living things or objects. Is it true that if you wake up at 4 a.m., a spirit is watching you? I don't know. You got these theories, and then you got these theories, and 3 a.m. and things like that. I don't pay too much attention to them, actually. Omar Gosh is famous for the 3 a.m. challenges and stuff like that, because the veil is thinner at 3 a.m. I don't necessarily. I'm skeptical of it. Prove it to me and I'll believe it. 300 dolls and 14 spirited dolls, and I thought I had a lot of dolls. I have about 40 or 50, but a lot of them are the wee small ones. I have 12 alleged haunted dolls, not worked with them for a while. Yeah, I'm a bit skeptic. You can see these paranormal investigators, and they're doing live stream, and they get their doll and they put it out on the table, and then they get their EMF detector and they get their spirit box and stuff like that. I think it takes a lot more than just 1 or 2 hours on front of the camera, asking the spirit around the doll to put off an EMF detector. What I'm doing here is I'm putting night vision cameras on these dolls on a regular basis, and then going through 6 or 7 hours of night vision footage to see if anything has happened. I don't think it's going to happen. You see, all the time we're expecting things to happen. We want the things to happen when we want to make a video, and it doesn't work like that. So that's where, with the research with the objects, I think what I want to do is I want to do it on a tour, really, really tour, and that is using night vision cameras and recording when I'm here and when I'm not here, and seeing what the results are. Recording when I'm not seeing anything, and recording when I'm asking questions and doing spirit box sessions and stuff like that. Don't think it's going to happen when I say, "Oh, guys, let's do work on this doll tonight." Just put it up on the table and start putting out all the instruments and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Just I don't think so anyway. By unexplained activities, yeah. I've done some research around what's his name? The guy from Haunted Collector, John Zappas, and he says, in the Haunted Collector at the end, when they bring in the item and he puts the bell jar over and he sprinkles a bit of salt, he says that's all he was allowed to do. And he says it's a lot more than that. He does binding prayers and all sorts of different things before he puts away the item, and because there was a religion involved, the film company wasn't going to allow him to do that. But he's got an awful lot of good knowledge, and he says a lot of his cases are women. Women tend to be a little bit very extra sensitive. They go into a car boot sale, or they go to a garage sale, or they go to a charity shop, and they pick up this item, and it feels kind of strange. And that's how some of these items originated. They didn't just originate on eBay, although I'm very skeptical of a lot of stuff on eBay. People do buy, these dolls for about £1 or £2 in a charity shop, go home, write up a very elaborate story, and make a fortune. But some of them are true. Some of them are genuine, but you're mixed up with an awful lot of fakes as well. Well, I mean, when you see the listings of haunted objects, and then you see a big load of Dybbuk boxes, and one of these Dybbuk boxes was a plastic box with a barbed wire wrapped around it. I mean, what's that all about? Is it normal for your TV and light to shut off at the same time, or is it a coincidence? Alexa, my Alexa was still on through, so power was on. I don't know. I don't have a house. My house isn't powered by Alexa or anything like that. The old-fashioned switches I get up and I turn it off. I'm pretty scared of these Alexas and stuff like that. I have it in my television, but my television is plugged out most of the time. I just don't like the possibility of your life being recorded through these things. I've seen some of the videos. I've seen some of the scary stories, and I'm freaked out by these Alexas and stuff like that. Could have fused on a different circuit. Lights and sockets are on completely different circuits. So if a light goes off, it's hard to know. It depends on what way they're wired. Heard loads of stories about Alexa. Do you believe it's scary stories? Some of them, obviously, a lot of the information that we get, on the internet, and especially YouTube, it's mixed up with fiction and fact, and we have to root through everything to get the proper information nowadays, because you have some of these. If you type into YouTube, how do you fix a certain part of a washing machine, you get people that want to put up a video, and they think they know what they're doing, and they don't. They put up a video and they put up completely wrong information. But what I do is, when I want to get information, and I'm not very good at reading, so when it comes to YouTube, say I want to try and hack a radio or something, I would look at about 9 or 10 different videos, and then you see a pattern. If they start matching, you start getting the information that way. Ghost catchers is here somewhere. Jerry's saying a load of ghost catchers. I'm sorry I missed you earlier. What I've been watching lately is about paranormal people, those lives. Very, very interesting conversation. I thought they were really, really good. A very, very good thing. I hope you continue those, because they're very, very good. And because I wasn't able to go live, I haven't been able to go live myself, and I really shouldn't be going live right now because I just wanted to test things. But you came up with topics, and it ended up in really great conversation. And it makes those kind of conversations and those topics. It brings the community together, and we get a break from some of this drama that's outside of that. I think what you've done there is a very, very good thing. We are doing paranormal equipment tomorrow, Sam, at something PM. Oh, I my notification on. I will get it. I will get it. Paranormal equipment. Yeah. Um. One thing that I have lots of, actually overrunning my house. I even have cases just underneath me here, and I just one of the things I got recently. I'll show you. I want to show you one of these boxes too. Do you know the Pelican cases? The Pelican cases are very, very expensive, but these cases here. You can get them on eBay for 17 quid, and they're actually pretty good, And you get your foam inside. You get your foam inside, and you can cut out your foam, and you can put your stuff in it, whatever shape that you want, because it's all it's all cut up into little squares, so you can put your equipment in there. That there, the box costs 17 quid. It's got a sealer on the outside, so it's sealed from the water as well. But that's where some of our really prized equipment is kept in boxes like this. I must get some more. But the piece of equipment that I got recently is that. I should have bought the blue one, but there was no blue one available at the time, and I just bought this one. It had a cracked screen, so I had to fix it and that. But looking forward to using that. What am I coming? Oh yeah, I have a Geiger counter coming. I don't know if it's going to be any useful, but I'm going to give it a go anyway, just to try out all sorts of stuff. I have other environmental testing equipment as well, so, Gold Rush Redman. Hello, how are you? Got loads of these new people coming in. It's just, say hello to the new people, folks. This channel it's grown since the last time I went live. It's had a lot of boost in subscribers and stuff, and there's new people in, so you'll see new people there. Get to know them and say hello and all the rest of it. Welcome to our community, actually, because I think it's the people in the community that makes channels like mine. It's the people, and that's why I wanted to start doing lives, is to get those people together, because before the lives, it was the premieres, and that's why I still put out premieres, is because I can get involved in the chat. I know typing is a lot of hard work and stuff like that, but doing lives as well is great to get that community together and that, Zan going or Jane going, I can't. I'm glad I don't have a massive channel, because I'll be missing out on so much. A lot of people are all out to get, grow your channel, get big subscribers and all the rest of it. And then you go live, and then you lose a lot of the sense of community, because you have so many people in the chat that you miss out on stuff, There's their own preference. Mags and Sam like their hacked radios. I love my PSP 7. Yeah. I have a PSP 11. I haven't had the 7s. The first time I picked one up in my hand was belonged to one of the team members, and I picked it up and I went, 79 quid for this. And I felt it's a bit it was a bit plasticky and stuff. It does the job. It does do the job. And the PSP 11 was then criticized for being too noisy. But if you can get that mode, there's a channel called Unicorn Tree Magical World. And if you type in the search Unicorn Tree Magical World magnitude mode for the PSP 11, it turns that box into a completely different box. Yeah, Sam, they're tiny. The thing about them too is, most women, when they carry around the bag, they have the makeup and stuff. Mine is full of paranormal equipment. Where is the bag, actually? But it's usually weighted up with paranormal equipment. But you never know when I would decide to take out the spurt box and that. And here's my Roberts camera, mother spurt box, REM pod, another spurt box, K2 meter, and yeah, that's it. But I have a little manual there. And I think it's a great little manual, and it's the Texan PL 360, I think it's called. Is it 360? Yes, PL 360. Now, it is a manual box. It is a manual radio, and it's got multiple bands on it. But when you turn it on, and where's my volume? You don't go to the end of the scan and have to reverse back up again. You just keep doing this. It's all right for about 10 minutes and that, but it is 45 pounds, and it's quite good quality, and it's got a built-in temperature gauge on it as well, and you can charge it through USB as well, and quite heavy for the size of it. And that's one of my favorite manual little boxes, and it comes in the little case and everything, so that's one of my little ones, and it's handy when you want to carry around, and you don't want to carry around too much heavy stuff, I'm so pleased. What are you so pleased about? I'm so pleased you showed me how to make that REM pods, Samantha. Do you know when I done that video, all of a sudden there was an influx on YouTube or on eBay of people selling them REM pods. So people may have taken that information and made some money on it, but I wanted to show people how they could do it themselves. It only costs around, I calculated it out exactly. It was £4.25 to make a REM pod from them door handle alarms, Don't bother with official REM pods. You are paying way too much of what it's worth. The first time I had one in my hand actually was the last investigation. I thought it was extremely light, and I think I'm paying for a name there. The door handle alarm circuitry does exactly the same thing. And those door handle alarms were £2.40 on eBay. I have bought more expensive ones, and they were harder to work on because they were in a tight small little casing. There was not much room to work on. But those little black ones, they're £2.40 for each. And then you buy a little LED bulb and an antenna, and the whole lot cost £4.25. The way I calculated it up, and we've had success with those, and the thing about them, they're so cheap. You can have as many as you want. You can cast a whole net around your whole location if you wanted to, Yeah, I have a REM pod, which was it was from a different company, and it looked pretty complicated. But one day I had to open it up because one of the bulbs had fallen in, and it turned out this cheap circuitry inside was all stuck together by rubberized glue, and a very very bad job. It looked lovely on the outside, but inside it was just a mess. And I find that those door handle alarms to do exactly the same thing, And I'm actually thinking of putting two of them in a box. One has a red light and the other one has a green light, and I could put yes or no, and you could have a dialogue mode. I know that those those alarms aren't affecting each other when there's a certain distance apart, and they still can be close enough. So if you put the two circuits in the one box and experiment that way. Chris Williams is in the house. Hello. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Free up space. Dismiss. Yeah, my computer's getting full. The reason why I'm not making them and putting them on eBay and stuff like that is because I wanted to show my community, like, listen, there's people that were saying, oh, I'd love to have this and love to have that, but I can't afford it and that. I wanted to show, the reason why I give out that information is because I wanted to show people that this is you can have some stuff that you can make yourself, and you can do it cheaply. I've heard of people that even went to ghost hunting companies to buy voice recorders. Voice recorders are voice recorders. If you go to a ghost hunting company, they're going to add 20-30% onto the price, because once you see ghost hunting on a product, they add their piece to it, and it is all the hours voice recorders. Order of magnitude is in the house. Wow. Hello. I was testing out StreamYards and I wanted to mess about, and I pressed live and I thought it was in private, so I ended up live. So I have to stay here now and get involved in the conversation. But I want to thank you personally for changing my life around in regard to Steve Hupp. A couple of years ago, I believed everything that Steve Hupp had told me. I seen you on another channel, and I decided, when that person was shouting you out, I decided I would subscribe to you. And then I found that you were speaking about Steve Hupp, and I wasn't very happy, and I unsubscribed. And then months later, accidentally you came up again, and at this stage I started to pick holes in Steve Hupp's videos and stuff like that. And I've been watching ever since, and sometimes I watch your videos a number of different times, and what you do out there is absolutely fantastic. And, fair play to you. I mean, like, some people are afraid to stand up to these people, and you just do it. I know sometimes you get a little bit of scrapes with some of these people that want to put you down and all the rest, but you keep going and that, and I thank you for it. And you've opened an awful lot of people's eyes, because a lot of these people that are new to the paranormal, they're going to go and say, oh, Steve Hupp's the best because he's got loads of subscribers and that, and they're going to listen to, I've spoke to people personally, and they were saving up for a Panasonic or DR60, and that person was actually speaking to Josh directly. Do you know? Yeah. That person was speaking to Josh directly, and they were wanting to get advice from Josh, and Josh would say the best thing that you could get is one of these Panasonic or DR60s. Now we're talking about, we can go in and out about the internal noise and all the rest of it. But the video I just put up about Dr. Annabella Cardoso, and if noise is an important part of that, if you have the external noise, you have that controlled noise. Inside these other low bit recorders, you have uncontrolled noise, and it's open to pareidolia, you know. But thankfully, that person did not buy those recorders. I bought them. I bought similar ones for my own research to debunk or whatever. I now use high quality recorders, which Dr. Annabella Cardoso's method of feeding in a little bit of white noise from a frequency with no human voices in it, you know. Hello. I'm so grateful that Order has come on here, because we all know Order, don't we? We all know Riley, and you know, for him to come up on this chat, I'm just honoured, you know, because I'm a great fan of what he has to say about the paranormal, and you know, regarding Mr. Huffley's. You know, I have to laugh. There was one, I decided, you know, I haven't seen Steve Hopper a little while, and I decided I would look to see what he was up to. And he was doing this video on the Necrophonic app, right? And he done the, you know, he does the video over days and days. You know, he's got all these different angles of shots. And there was one shot where he's inside in the room, and he has the curtain open, and he has the tripod outside, and it's looking in the window. And I'm thinking, imagine if you were a new neighbour and you just moved in, and you heard all this echo and reverb, and you decide to peep over the fence, and you see this guy in the window just going, holding on to this thing, and you know, you think, what the heck is going on, like, you know? Yeah, it was about the Necrophonic app, and they had found some sort of settings in that. But he went to an awful lot of bother to get all these different angles and that. And he had this shot of him in the window, and he was in his session room, and he was there, and he was holding over the thing, and he was, you know, all this. And then, you know, he brings in the spooky music and all the rest of it. And I'm thinking, imagine if you were a neighbour and you peeped over the fence and you seen this, and you're going, Steve is messing around with his funny radios again. I'm waiting for the seat to fall again. It has a mind of its own. Randy Leader, hello, how are you doing? Welcome to the chat. How? Kev Sue, hello, I love you. Thank you. What? I don't know what to say about that. Don't know what to say about it. Share the love. So many new people, actually. You know, it's such a long time since I went live, and every time there's some bit of drama, do you know, when somebody messes up really, really bad, and then everybody's up in arms about it, some of the smaller channels start to get a little bit of boost, you know, because some of them are searching for truth or answers or whatever, you know. It's just a rainbow would be the same thing, just would make yourself. Yeah, the thing about the door handle alarms, you can put them door handle alarms into anything, you know. But I have a static bear. Thing I was wondering about the static bear. You know, bears, they can be full of static. How does that work? I have the mechanism. It's wired into this bear to detect static, and it's put inside a teddy bear, which is probably full of static. I don't know how that works. Folks. Do you know some of those teddy bears that you have the zip and there's the electronic mechanisms for them to talk and stuff like that. If you get one of those in a charity shop and you take out the electronics and that, you put your REM pod, your little door handle alarm inside there and just zip it up. There you have your REM bear. You wire up lights and stuff like that, Chris, oh. That's exactly what I'm thinking too. You got Steve Hupp and he's heading towards his 100,000 and that, and people are saying, well, he's got 100,000 subscribers. He has to be telling the truth. But when you look over the last 7-8 years, what have we learned? Not a whole lot. All we know is he's got this, an amplifier, which I haven't one with me at the moment. One of these, yeah. Well, not exactly this one, but an amplifier with some pedals stuck on it, and then you got your reverse pedal stuck on the back. It's all wired up and all the rest of it. If you want a little bit of reverb, like you get a little bit of. Well, I wouldn't use a whole lot of reverb. You can use a tiniest little bit, and it brings that sound up a little bit. But you don't want it reverberating back, because when the next word comes in, it gets caught up with the previous words and stuff like that, and it ends up to be a bit of a mess. But a tiny little bit of tweaking with these, which you don't have to do anything with. You got a little bit of reverb there, and you have a little bit of cutout. You don't want to have too much cutout too, because sometimes your communication's in the lower frequencies, and some of those noise gates cuts out the lower frequencies, so you miss out on stuff. You have to be very, very careful. But he's been marketing the same product over and over again for the last 6-7 years, and he just calls it a different thing, and people are falling for it. This telephone to the dead. It's pure bullshit. Of my alleged haunted dolls, I got sent off a paranormal group, and one night I went live and it said, I said, Spirit, who is called Liam, please can you make your light switch on and off? I think there's the next one, yeah. And my lights did. Thing is, you get these objects, right? You get these dolls, and they're named Robert, and they're named Anne, and they're named Peter, and all the rest of it. If you're doing some investigating around those, don't mention any names, because I have mentioned names. If you mention if you see previously, some time ago. Now, Mark Smith went into the woods to look for Slender Man above all things, and it was quite funny, and it was kind of quite ridiculous at the same time. But when you think about it, if you look and listen what he was doing, he had the spirit box, and he just kept saying, "Are you Slender Man? Is Slender Man here? Who is Slender Man?" And he just kept saying Slender Man, and Slender Man came out. Now, I've used names, and I've repeated those names over and over again, and something repeats back. When you're doing an investigation on a alleged haunted item, especially a doll with a name on it, don't mention the name. See if the name comes up naturally, More subs. Buying them normal. More spent on buying normally. Yeah. YouTube, when you think about it, it does not suit what we do, YouTube is a platform for entertainment, and and some of these paranormal groups to get to a certain point, and then they see, wow, we could make some money here, We can get some advertisement here. We can get some merch and stuff like that. In order to sell that merch, you have to try and get as many subscribers in as possible. And sometimes what they're doing is they're making the bait, and some of that bait is what the viewers want. They communicate. You'll see a lot of them. You see Mark Smith doing it. They try and find out what the viewer wants, and he tries and delivers it, whether it's legit or not. He's not stupid. That's a good. Said to do it 3 times. What I started doing with Spirit Box sessions, right, is I ask a question. Can you tell me what your name is, please? The next question. Who are you? And it happened once. It just happened I hadn't been recording. The usual, when you get these brilliant evidence, it's not recorded. But I says, what's your name? And then the second question was, who are you? And I got the same name come up twice. If you get it come up once, it's brilliant. You got a name as a direct response, but if it comes up twice, it's absolutely brilliant. Fortunately, sometimes I take out spirit boxes that are lying around close to me, and I'll start footing around. I'll turn it on, and I do a little session. Sometimes the camera's not on. Sometimes I turn on the camera. I says, guys, I'm going to turn on the camera. I'm going to do this session because I think I'm getting responses. Once the camera's on, the next thing it's gone. You got the responses before the camera comes on. You turn on the camera, next thing the session turns to crap, Oh, no idea why people think that giving them some kind of advantage. What's happening here and what's happening on YouTube is subscriber counts. If you put out videos that are 20 minutes long, that's what YouTube recommends. That keeps your audience, it keeps your attention and all the rest of it. And some of these paranormal YouTubers, they tend to go, they tend to look into all this YouTube stuff. And it ends up, when we're doing an investigation, sometimes we're filming for 3 or 4 hours, and everything just goes up. My audience retention is absolutely shit. There's very, very few people that's going to sit through 3.5 hours of me walking around doing absolutely nothing, And what happens is the smaller channels that are doing these legit investigations, they get swamped under by these other people that are playing the YouTube game, if you know what I mean. I just wish there was a platform for true paranormal people, then we don't have to compete with some of this entertainment and bullshit, because some of these smaller channels, they have great evidence. We're just not seeing it. We're just not finding it, Indeed we do. Yeah, it is very, very sad that people has fallen for people like Steve Hope. And it sickens me. It really, really does. And some of these people, they don't have much money, and they're saving and saving and saving. The person I was speaking to didn't have a lot of money. Was saving up for a DR60. What I done was I bought her a recorder instead, and I give it to her. I give it to them because they didn't even have a recorder, so I give them one of mine, and I kind of stopped them from buying the DR60, and I sat down and I explained what the DR60, the pros and the cons around the DR60, there's so much other recording devices that you can use, and if you want to experiment with noise, use external noise, not internal noise, because internal noise is uncontrolled. The external noise, you can control it. And you know, from the other video that I showed you of Dr. Annabella Cardoso, use static noise with no human voices in it. Then you won't get mixed up, and you won't make mistakes, or less likely to. But very, very interesting research. If anybody hasn't seen that video, go to the video, and then at the bottom of the video I have a link to her channel. Great videos on Dr. Annabella Cardoso. The original research that we had done, I was in school at the time. I was 17 years old, and turned out my science teacher was into ITC. And the only information we had was a VHF tape of Marcello Bacci, and Everton was an Italian. And we're sitting. I stayed back a couple of times after class with the teacher, because I really wanted to see what was going on, and we sat down and watched this video. We hadn't a clue what this guy was saying, and we had to look at what was going on in the video and trying to make it out for ourselves. But we were still fascinated, because we know that he was getting responses. They were in Italian, and we didn't have a clue what they were talking about, but it sparked my interest. I started using ordinary radios with single frequencies for a number of years, and then I went on to use amateur radio bands and stuff like that, because my uncle was into contacting ETs, extraterrestrials. I'm sort of skeptic of ETs and stuff like that, but he was into all that. But I was using his radio to try to use it for spirit communication. But I only got one response in that whole time, and it scared the life out of me, and I left it for a while. And it's just strange that I'm coming back. I'm older in life, and I'm coming back to all that kind of research now, I get light too. I have not asked anything. It just does like all the time. You have to have a You have to have that fucking pisses me off at the beginning of videos. The skulls in the graveyards and stuff. Really gets on my goat. I'm sorry, it just does. And the spooky music. I don't think there's any need for it. I think it gives kind of shows that the paranormal is a kind of a dark world, and it's all scary and spooky, and I think it's far from the case, Although I questioned it the first time I went to Sharon Rectory, it scared the life out of me. The stuff that we were getting on audio, and 9 or 10 people down in the basement hearing a man's voice upstairs, and there was no one upstairs, and we all heard it with our own ears. I was there, and my heart just jumped. I says, "This isn't bullshit, like." I said, "This is fucking real," And we picked it up on camera. It was just fucking brilliant. And anyone would think, we couldn't prove that it was real, because we would have to have a camera upstairs at that exact time and stuff like that. Or there could have been somebody walking up, and we could have planned all that. But I try to be as honest as possible. If you want to know an honest person, go through all their videos and see if they're trying to pull your leg, But we just we just film them the way it is, and we sometimes pick up. We just don't know when we're going to pick up this kind of evidence and that. But it made me says, I said to Rachel the next day in her house, I says, "Rachel, we can't do investigations like we've been doing all this time anymore. We have to do it in another way, because we're copying everyone else, Should urge. I'm way behind in the chat, folks. I'm sorry. But you're having a conversation between yourselves, and what do you call it? I appreciate it, because it's pretty It's pretty good. Some other night I'll open my panel up for people to come up and that. And I used to put the link in the chat, and but that is it's not a good thing to do, is to put your links in the chat, because a couple of nights ago somebody that we know got actually porn bombed. So I will try and see if people have Facebook or what, and try and get the link out that way on an email or a message or something like that. I have a guitar amp with fairy lights on top. I have a guitar amp with fairy lights on top. But when you think with Steve Huff, right, with this guitar amp, right, and he sticks on the stuff on the outside, and he puts his crystals and all that stuff, super glued or whatever glue he uses, and stuff like that. Would you think he'd make an effort after 6 years and put it all nice and neatly in a nice little box? I've seen people that have actually all that technology, all those pedals, and actually you can get circuit boards for these reverb circuits and stuff like that. And it was all neatly in a box and stuff like that. Would you think at this stage you would have a nice presented box? But he just gets he gets these off the shelf items, and he sticks them together, and he calls that an invention. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm way behind this. I'm way behind the chat here. Bluff coming out, yeah. But yeah, I'm always grateful for Order of Magnitude to have the courage. And Orbs Realm has done a video as well. I actually seen it a couple of times. Has actually watched it again last week, and you could see the expression in his face. He was angry but sad at the same time that somebody would try and fake the paranormal in the way that he's doing. And you could see the tone in his voice that he was actually sad this was happening, Dropping Mrs. Magnitude to work. If you're still on when I get home, I will drop in. I'm really, really grateful that you came on, Order. I'm starstruck, actually. I'm really grateful that you came on, Thank you very much. And give my regards to your wife and your wee kid there, and the whole family. And thank you very much for coming on. Great to see Order come up on the chat. He's a great person. He's a good man. I'm way behind the flipping chat, but people are talking to each other, and so many claim on spirit boxes they can, or demons, etc. Demons in a title and on a thumbnail. That brings in the ching. Yeah, demons and 3 a.m. challenges. Cha-ching. Money in the bank. Haunted Road, folks. Haunted Road. I do a haunted road, actually. We have a haunted road. I was actually going to do at some stage a story time, but I'm a shit reader. But there is, between Ballybofey and Donegal Town, it's called Barnesmore Gap. If you look up on the internet, there's a ghost story about Barnesmore Gap. It involved a priest in the 1980s, right? I think it was in 1980, it's 80 or 81, and he was driving from Ballybofey to Donegal town, or vice versa. I can't remember. And it was I think it was an old Ford Escort, and it was a stormy, rainy night, and that. And he was driving along. He had the radio on, and the radio started playing up. Next thing in the distance, he sees this bright blue light flashing or shining, an unusual blue light. Now, Barnesmore Gap is a valley between Donegal town and Ballybofey, and there's no houses between it. There's one pub called Biddy's Pub right in the middle of it. But it is, and when it snows, what happens is it's a kind of a bowl. Because it's a valley and that, and when it snows there, you cannot distinguish between the road and the side of the road. So many people were driving into fields and stuff like that. But the priest was driving along anyway, and he's seen this blue light. And what happened was, he got closer and closer in that, and in the middle of the valley, and we're talking a stretch between Donegal town and Ballybofey, we're talking about approximately 10 miles. But there was this young girl in the middle of, or at the side of the road, and she was tumming in that. So the priest, being a priest, give the girl a lift. I mean, like she's in the middle of the mountains and that, and nothing around. So she gets into the back of the car anyway, and priest says, how you doing and all the rest of it, and the girl doesn't talk at all. And it's a really, really cold winter's night, and she's her head up against the up against the window like this, and you couldn't see the breath that was, you would in a cold night and you breathe, you would have this mist on the glass. Wasn't there, and he was looking in the mirror, and he said, there's something wrong here. The girl isn't responding to me. A couple of miles down the road anyway, the girl actually starts to talk, and she just says, can you let me off here? This is where I died. And the priest just went, and then he looked in the rear view mirror and then looked around, and she was gone. And apparently he stopped the car there and then, and he took out his holy water and he blessed the road and that. And I heard about that story when I was a kid and that, and it's still told today, and especially because it was a priest, it was believed and that, But a lot of people had died on that road and that, and I was going to go at some stage in that, but the road has changed now because there was so many windy bends and stuff like that. It's now changed to a more of a straight road with less bends in it. So we're not going to be able to go to the areas where exactly it happened, So now is if YouTube demonetized and that's not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, we've got the people that want to do this, and it doesn't matter if they have 100 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. Some of these just do it anyway. Personally, I don't want too many subscribers because the community gets massive. When you get a load and load of subscribers, it's very, very hard to talk to everybody in the community. And I find it difficult now with 1,300 or whatever I've got. I don't know what it is I've got. But I think there's things more important than the amount of subscribers you have. For me, one of the biggest things is this community here, which is come close, and it's great to have this kind of conversations and stuff, and then you have, but more and more of these paranormal groups that get to a certain amount, and then they see this opportunity, and next thing next thing their evidence starts going out the window and stuff. Their credibility is gone. You know? Hello, Karen. Welcome to the community and welcome to the chat. I'm a bad typer. I'm a bad typer too, actually. I have to admit. And I'm very hard. I very hard to read smaller writing, and that's why I bring comments up on the thing. But do you know when it's uploading that, and sometimes in time this chat kind of disappears, but it's still on the video, you know? Your comments are on the video, you know? Which is great. Happy Droid Development is here. Hello. I hope you are well, and you have been in my thoughts in recent times. I know I didn't message you, and I'm sorry, but you have been in my thoughts, and I hope you are well. I hope that things are well for you. Very, very grateful that you come onto the chat too. It's brilliant, you know. I was just wondering too. I've seen, and I have it on my phone now as well, ERS Paratech. Did that come before the Paratech that everybody uses now? There was, you know, that Paratech with the orange background and that. And I seen the ERS Paratech where the words come out and then it picks the words. I actually uploaded it to my phone last week there as an alternative to having something different. I was wondering, did you come up with that ERS Paratech before the Paratech that everybody's using now? Do you know? Orbs Rat, I'm saying hello. Hello, folks. Wouldn't worry, apparently as long as the first and the last letter are correct, the mind of most people can understand. Yeah. I think with a lot of these other, do you know what, you get these recent times we had this little bit of drama and stuff like that. I think my way of, I know people have to speak out about it and stuff, but it's hard to know what to do. I know we have to say what we have to say and condemn it, so people understand that we don't support this or whatever, and that. But you know, if we ignore it and just move on, are we doing the right thing there? I don't know. But you know, a lot of dramas accelerated over those particular issues late, you know. Sorry I'm late. There's no need to be sorry. There's no need to be sorry. I'm here by accident. I was messing around with StreamYards and I pressed live. I thought the setting was private, but it was live. So I'm now doing a live I'm now doing a live stream, which I didn't plan to do. You know? But hello, ghost researchers. You know? I haven't turned my television on in about 9 months. It's all been YouTube. You know? Yeah, don't put your link in the chat. You get stalked. Yeah, I done it the last time. I put the link in the chat, and yeah, I got people up. I got Irish Whiskey Paranormal and stuff like that because it was the easiest thing to do, but it's not the safest, to be honest with you. You know? If you don't know anybody, folks, if you don't, there's people are, and my community is pretty good. They say hello to everybody, and I'm sorry if I missed anybody. You know, I've had 45 subscribers in the last month, so there's new people here, and that, and you know, people are very good to say hello to each other. I'm scared to look out my window in case Michael Jackson will be there. Apparently Michael Jackson comes and sees Steve Hope all the time. between that and Michael the Archangel, apparently. One post in the chat, just trolls will pop on. Yeah, somebody in America, he was somebody in the one of the communities I'm in the States. He put his link to his live stream in the chat, and somebody porn bombed him. And he was lucky he cut off the live straight away. I had a little bit of a jump there for some reason. I got a guitar amp and a guitar, no joke. I seen a video. It was Orbs Realm. It was a couple of days ago, and actually one of the guitar strings clanged. There was a little orb in the room. There's always orbs around Orbs Realm, but you could hear the guitar go ding. It's brilliant, I actually have my computer connected up to one of those little mini amps, and then underneath here I have a mixing board. One of those old mixing boards with the valves. I do think the spirits watch and listen. If they know you're honest, they help you out. Dishonest people have people have to fake it, as they can't. They don't help them out. Yeah, it's probably true. It's intentions. It's all about intentions. You have to have a good intentions. And what you want to use that information for. And that's when YouTube comes up again. I worked with 2 different teams. One of those teams, the head researcher says, "Why are you putting your stuff up on YouTube? Are you trying to get people to approve your evidence? As long as you know yourself, isn't that not good enough?" And I says, "No, I don't push. I don't do these to entertain the public. I don't do that. It's a diary for myself. The evidence is there. It's all in its little playlist or whatever. And I have a community and stuff like that. If people can make up their own mind, I'm not going to try. You see, some of these people on YouTube, the reason why they're doing these YouTube channels is because they want to get popular and that. I don't particularly, I have, this is my diary, of my life. And hopefully YouTube is around for a very, very long time, and I can look back and it says, "Oh, I went there. Remember I went there." My memory isn't brilliant, but when I look at the videos, "Oh, remember that day we went there," or "Remember that night we went and investigated here," and that, it's more a diary for myself. I'm not out to get attention from myself. My intentions is completely different than some of these big YouTubers. I have to go, Sam. Got things to sort out for work tomorrow. Sam, just love the channel. You have a great, really enjoy it. Thank you very much, Orbs Realm, for coming on the chat. Really appreciate it. And hopefully I will plan my next live rather than me all of a sudden, "Oh, I'm live." There's people saying hello to me. And I'm going, "Shit." Didn't plan it at all. But really enjoy your videos. Thank you very much, and thanks very much for showing those. It's pretty good. And if you don't, if people in the chat you haven't heard of Orbs Realm, it's a good channel to have a look at. Yeah, it is. Cha-ching! Demons. We were terrified. We were terrified. Chased by a demon at 3 a.m. in my own house. 3 a.m. overnight challenge. Or 24-hour overnight challenge. And I'm thinking to myself, geez, overnight is only 8 to 12 hours and that. Well, where's the 24 hours coming from, you know? Oh, not so good, not so good, not so good. But people are out for the entertainment, you know, the scary factor, and that's why you see some of these investigators and they just put in the scary music and stuff like that. And then I seen one video, and it was up Mark Smith, and I think he was stuck for something to do because he was in this bedroom up whatever house he was staying in. He had this doll, and he puts the doll up, and he goes, guys, what do you think? What do you see? What does it make you feel? You know, and he was pushing his head of his doll up and his eyes and stuff like that. And you see in the chat, oh, scary, oh, evil, oh, demon, and all the rest of it. I'm going, holy crap. I said, God. But it's one of those tricks that he does. What a lot of them do is to get the audience all in the zone, if you know what I mean. And they have a couple of tricks of doing that. Especially when it comes to the doll, you just go, ooh, well, I got a doll there. No, I haven't. But, you know, they just put it up to the camera. Guys, look at how freaky that doll looks. What do you see? Type in the chat what you see and all the rest of it. And you see all this, oh, demon, oh, devil, oh, scary, oh, guys are freaky and all the rest of it. It's just a flipping doll, you know. But they get the audience all worked up for the investigation. They may not have content, but they try to milk it, you know. And some of them are pretty good at it, you know. Spirits and spirits don't mix. That pub involved spirits and spirits. Do you ever notice that there's an awful lot of haunted pubs? I suppose it's because of the haunted history. But here in Ireland, what I found out when I was in I was in Lifford. I was in Lifford Courthouse, and it was a place where Marion Goodfellow was actually at, and she says it's one of the most haunted places that she's ever been in, one of the most active haunted places she's ever been. But I was looking at the history on the walls and stuff. Back in the day, the courthouse was for the bigger cases. These smaller court cases, they were done in the public house, and that's why it was called a public house. So the smaller crimes were dealt with in the public house, and other community meetings, like council meetings and stuff like that. It all happened in the public house, so it wasn't just a drinking house. That's why it was called a public house, because an awful lot of different activities went on. There's a lot of history to a lot of these pubs, you know. To fly is to by Saturday above paranormal. Oh, we're going back to the drone again. Yeah, I tried mine once. It scared the life out of me. I thought I was never going to see it again. It just went straight up, and it went up so far that I couldn't see it. And the thing is that the drone is white and the clouds are white, and I'm looking up and I said, what the heck is it? Like, I just pressed home, and I think at one stage it just went out of range and it just dropped, you know. And then I just pressed home and it re-engaged, and it landed in the field on the four legs. Actually, this is it. That's it there. It's not the most expensive drone, but it was £100, you know. And you can link a phone onto it and stuff. But I wouldn't buy. Starting out, I wouldn't buy an expensive drone, because you're talking about a lot of money, and if you crash it, it's gone. It's gone for good. I don't want that kind of a bad day. I'll see you, Brad. Thanks, Brett. Thanks very much for coming in. So grateful that people came in, even though it was an accidental stream. A story like that should be made into little videos. I'd watch them. I have, and these books, they're available in England as well, and every county in England has these books. So I got 2 of them. You got Haunted Derry and Haunted Donegal, but you got Haunted Lancaster, or Haunted London, or Haunted Scotland, or all these other counties I've seen because I watched Phil Sinclair, and he has 1 or 2 of these books. So they're written for every county in Britain and in Ireland, apparently. And they're very good. And actually, the research, the story of Sharon Rectory is actually in this book. And I haven't read it yet because I am planning, and I think I'm going on another paranormal investigation. Then I will read it. I don't want to know the story when I go in, because I have a certain amount of little sensitivities. I'm a little bit sensitive on that. So the less information I know, I think the better for me. And then look up the research after I have the investigation done to see what links up. I don't want to have that information and start using that information in an investigation. It just interrupts with the investigation. Got to get going now. Good live stream, and I have learned so much new things. Bye bye. Kaylee, thank you very much for joining us on this accidental stream, which I haven't planned for. But I hope to see you again. And welcome to the community. It's a nice, friendly place here, you know. And Sandra's saying goodbye. Everybody says hello and goodbye to each other. It's great. The Paratech, the original, had 4 versions, which all worked different. Yeah, that's what I thought. I only have the 2 versions, and I have I got my phone with me? I have the original. I have the ERS Paratech. I have the ERS Paratech on my phone, right? The only thing is, when I put it on, maybe the app is slightly corrupted, because it takes me a while. It takes a while for it to load on my phone. Here we go. Right, Paratech ERS V1.1. What's new? New help screen added. Long press. Blah, blah, blah. Original Paratech. Using a different technique from the original Paratech. When it matches 3 words within 30 picked words at rapid speed, it will display the most popular word chosen. New help, troubleshoot, manual added. Press help to open. I'll load the app.
ERS loaded.
I'm going to take it out of the rubber enclosure, because it cuts down the side a bit. That's the Paratech ERS. Let's see if I can get this up. It decides not to load for me, but I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it for a few minutes to see will it do it. Which worked the best? The original one seemed to be the better of the bunch. But I think it's good that there is a couple of versions of that, and you can try it all out if you want. I get a pecker of a spur called Peter who ghost stalks me. Why can't I get Michael Jackson? Who goes there? Thank you. We made some REM pods today out of those door handle alarms. And thanks to you and the video you made. They are brilliant. Thank you very much, and hello everyone. Oh, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the community. I just wanted to save people money. I've seen them on the internet. I've seen them before I actually showed people how to make them. I actually seen them on a ghost hunting company's website and YouTube videos, and I says, oh, those little things, they look familiar to me. I went on to eBay and I discovered that these things were modified door handle alarms that were selling for £80. £80. All you have to do is wire a light to the circuit, to the two wires going to the speaker. And then the wire that comes out of the thing, that is your sensitive wire. You wire that into your antenna and you put the antenna down the side. It's just trying to get the right size antennas. The ones that I have, that came out of a radio and they're just slightly over the top, and I just put that little rubber thing on the top of it. But the other ones that I have, the antennas were slightly big. There's my seat going down again. That's me, my B&M seat. No, I can't. Don't know where the other ones went. But yeah. And if you want to, that they're very, very loud. But if you get them in a supermarket, actually. They're packs with different size little felt things that you put on bottoms of the chairs to protect your wooden floor or whatever. And they're sticky at the back. And you put that on over the speaker, it cuts down the sound a little bit, because they are pretty loud, People saying hello to everybody. Where am I? I'm way behind the chat. I'm sorry. Oh. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the community. New people coming in all the time here. And Selena Eslick, welcome to the community. Gillian Daniels is in the house. She could have been in the house ages ago. Oh, sorry, just tuned in. Welcome, Gillian. Welcome, Gillian. What happened was, Gillian, I was messing around with StreamYards, and I was hoping to stay on private, and I pressed live. And when you press live, if you put your settings in private, you don't go out live onto YouTube. It's stuck. You can make a video and then you can put it up afterwards. And I just wanted to experiment a little bit, and when I pressed live, the setting was in public, and all of a sudden I seen in the chat people were saying hello to me, and I said, "Yeah, I'm live," So I'm accidentally being here. If I was here, I would have put my little screen on behind, But it's all good. It's all good. I don't know many people's in the chat, but there's conversations going on here, and it's great, Oh, we're trying to get this Partech to go. Maybe I have to re-upload the app You know, I'm going to come out of it again. But it's called ERS Paratech, and you know, if you're into the Paratech, some people are into apps, some people are not. I don't use an awful lot of apps myself. The odd time I would take out the Paratech, you know. I've seen good results with the Paratech. I've had no good results with it myself, but you know, because it came from Appy Droid, who is into the ITC, makes spurt boxes and that, and you know, you know where the source comes from, you know. It's not going to come up for me, but it's called ERS Paratech, and when it uploads, it looks like this, and on there it is, there, the middle one, ERS Paratech, and it's in the App Store, folks. It's in the App Store. Do you know? I have another one there. It's called Paranormal Live Ghost Box, and it seems to link to a hacked radio somewhere, and it links in with that hacked radio, so you can have a hacked radio if you don't have your spurt box with you, that, you know. You know. The eyes looked filled in with a marker on that doll. Paranormal people. I think, are you referring to the doll that Mark had? Some of these dolls, right? The reason why mine are out in the hall is because there's no natural light that goes into that hallway. If you leave the doors open, there's light that comes in, but I don't have them in direct sunlight because the sunlight can affect the clothes, it can affect the eyes if they're made cheaply and that, and sometimes it bleaches some things. So maybe that's what happened there, but it looked like it was colored in with marker. You know, but I actually he did say go and do your research, folks, and I actually found one of those dolls on eBay, and it didn't have the red eyes. You know, I'm way behind the chat. Here. There's people talking to each other here. I'm going to go down to closer. There's people talking to each other. If you wanted to ask a question or anything, or what the paranormal is here, thank you very much for being here, and welcome to the accidental stream, where I was messing around and I didn't realize it was live. Videos are good. I'm kind of lost in the chat a little bit. Here. Hello, Sandra and paranormal people. If you had an important question and, and I missed it, I really apologize. But if you type it out in the chat again, I should get it. Light bulb across the speaker wire, and it halted the speaker noise. I put an LED instead of a normal light bulb across the speaker wire, and it halted the speaker noise. What I use is actually what they are is the side lights, the parking lights for cars. And I think they're LED. I think they are LED. If they're not, there's some sort of a chemical kind of thing, but that's, they're not an ordinary light bulb, right? you know. But you could put a volume switch in, of course. You know, you might have lack of space in that. But I just put those little pads. There's different size pads, and you put one layer on top of the other. Put a big one, put a middle-sized one, and put a small one on top, and it cuts down the noise. It's not as loud, you know. And you can walk around as well if you hold them. If you hold it right at the bottom, it won't go off, and you can do your sweep that way, as long as you don't touch the sides of it and that. And you can do a bit of a sweep with it, you know. But you know, £4.25, folks. If you're interested in making one of those, there is on my playlist of paranormal equipment. I show you how to make these. You can make them in minutes with limited skills, you know. And because they're £4.25, you can make loads and loads of them. Paranormal people, I have to go. Take care, Sam. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, Mags. I will try and plan my next live and hopefully get people up on the panel and stuff. And, you know, if people don't want to be on camera, they can turn their cameras off and we can talk. And, you know, it would help me out a lot because I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't been on a live stream in a long, long time. Gillian's going as well. I think it might close down soon. Thanks very much, Gillian, for coming anyway. You know, this was not planned. Oh, I'm not going. You're staying. Okay. Ouch, my ears. I'm sorry. I didn't think it was that loud. You know? And again, had me that time. I'm still here, Gillian. Yeah, sorry, Gillian. I thought you were going as well. Of course, yeah. I think next, I might do some of those. I might do some of those ghost stories in future from around my area. And one thing, I'm on the outskirts of Derry City. Derry City has an awful lot of history. And some of these buildings have haunted stories, and is a very big into the paranormal and ghost stories and alleged hauntings. There is not many paranormal investigators actually in Derry, and we haven't investigated anywhere in Derry. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to look into possibly getting into the old cinema, because apparently when the old cinema had closed down, that's when the spirits came in. And apparently there was an awful lot of activity. There's another place called the Verbal Arts Centre, where it was converted. It used to be a school, and it was up near the Derry wall. The Derry is a walled city, and it used to be a school. And it was converted into the Verbal Arts Centre somewhere in the early 2000s, I think. And the workmen were freaking out because tools were going missing and moving and turning on by themselves and stuff like that. And at times, workmen had fled the building. There was that much paranormal activity in that. But I have not seen paranormal investigations in Derry. I think there used to be a paranormal investigating group in Derry. I don't think they exist now. So I think myself and Rachel might be the only people in Derry that do paranormal investigating. But I could be wrong. I would love to meet other people that do paranormal investigating in Derry and possibly do some work with them, you know, because we're open to working with other people as well, you know. We're very grateful actually for people like Peninsula Paranormal Group. Ronnie was in the chat earlier. We've learned so much from them, you know. They do things old school. They set up X cameras, and when they go home, the investigation continues going through all the footage. You know, and they have recorders out. They have the recorders constantly recording audio and stuff like that. It's an awful lot of work, and we've learned to adapt to that kind of paranormal investigating, and that's why I bought new cameras. This is my recent one, which is not new at all. It's about 20 years old. It's and that's what we were using for Sharon Rectory. Two of these, and they go into a little cradle like that for uploading. Basically, the camera sits into a little cradle. It's opposite. It sits into a little cradle like this. You plug it into it like that, and you get your data from that. There's actually hard drives in these video cameras, you know. And I bought extra large batteries, so we get prolonged use out of them. But what I bought these for was to put on tripods as still cameras. And I see some of the groups, they use a cheaper, older camera, night vision cameras for those still cameras and that. I did buy a newer Chinese brand night vision camera, and it wasn't very good. It was very unstable. The slightest twitch, and it was over exaggerated, and there was no way I could fix it. So I decided I would go back to the old school Sony night shot cameras, and actually we've got three. I've got three of these. This is another one. This is one that was it's an SR30. Basically, you turn this on, you set it for movies, or you set it for still shot, and there's no other settings as far as I tried getting into settings on this, and there's just nothing there, you know. There's modes. There's still mode, video mode, and that is it. It's just basically it's just a no nonsense night vision camera, and you got your hard drive on the side there, and the other ones that I showed you, the 30 gig hard drives and that. It makes the screen slightly smaller, but they actually worked in Sharon Rectory, and we had limited night vision light because I bought these little night vision torches, and they didn't come in time, which I was disappointed. But you know, hopefully in our next investigation we'll have those night vision torches, and it'll help us an awful lot. Hello, Sharon Riley. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, and welcome to an accidental live stream, which wasn't planned, but I'm glad it's like getting into a cold swimming pool. I'm in now, and I'm comfortable, you know. Pretty nervous when I seen the first couple, when I seen the chat start going, hello, Sam, how you doing, Sam? And I go, shit, I'm live, you know. But, yeah, that the future, I think, for us is we're trying to paranormal investigation, trying to capture evidence. And very often when you go, if you're in a building, you go from one room to another. What's to say that when you leave that room and go into another room, that the paranormal activity doesn't start in this other room that you just left? So by having tripods and still cameras, you're still covering the area and that's, I know it's a lot of work. You bring home all these cameras, 4, 5, 6 cameras, and you have to go through every single one of them to try and get evidence, and then try to put a video together through that. But I think, you know, paranormal investigation is an easy. It's not just about going out, do a live stream, and then go home and say, oh, you know, don't have to do anything, don't have to edit. It's all up on YouTube. Don't have to do anything. With a live stream, if you're a paranormal investigator, you need to get that live stream. You need to go through everything frame for frame. That's what investigating is about. It's not about making videos. People are turned to this live streaming and think that it's an easy way out. It's not. If you want to be a paranormal investigator, get your live streams and look through them. investigate. Oh dear, oh dear. Just had a firework thrown at my door. Little bastards. Yeah. It's the time of the year. It's you get these people that Halloween they take in that thing, but then there's these other ones, and they it's an excuse to act the maggot. And I'm 3 floors up. I'm like on an island. Everything that's happening is happening down below me. I'm up here. I don't have people knocking my door. But a couple of years ago, I had a firework go off in my hallway. It launched through my letterbox, and it almost burnt my house down. The explosion happened in my hallway. I was sitting watching the television, and it scared the life out of me. And then I had somebody put a firework and a piece of a fire lighter under my car, and that could have put my car on fire because it was right in under the engine. If it was leaking oil or anything like that, my car would have went on fire. My car was right up against the house. You know. It's more of these stupid ideas. Kind of lost there actually. Huh? Made me jump when I thought. Yeah, I mean, like it's unexpected and that, and it's sometimes sometimes it can lead to it can lead to all sorts of problems. I mean, like some of them are putting fireworks into letterboxes and stuff like that, and it goes off in the hallway, flies up the hallway. Person could be coming out just as the firework is going up, and we had fireworks seized in Derry lately, and people say, "Oh, we're not going to have as much fireworks this year, thankfully, because they've been seized and that." Somebody's going to bring them in. It doesn't make any difference, I mean, the idea of throwing fireworks, it all happens. Yeah, I mean, like you've, as well as that, you have kids there. You have kids there, and the parents don't even know where they are, and some of them are 7, 8 years old, and they're messing around with these fireworks, and they're going off. The amount of injuries that's happened, and then people think it's funny to tie fireworks onto tails of cats and dogs and stuff like that. It's just, but it's there's good and bad and everything in life, unfortunately. Yeah, you know, um, yeah. I don't have much hassle up here because I'm on an island. I'm 3 floors up. It's hard getting up and down 3 flights of stairs, but I'm kind of safe. I would still rather wish I was on a ground floor in a house, because I used to love the garden. First thing in the morning, I put on the kettle and I walk out to my garden with my cigarette and that. And I used to love the outdoors. Now I have a balcony, and it's under a very busy road. It's very busy, But I'm grateful I have a balcony because I was in a tiny flat before that, Have to go, have to go, have to go. See you, Jillian. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll have a plan stream the next time, I just decide to keep the stream on because people want to talk to each other, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being part of the community. We often see each other in other streams on other channels and stuff like that, and it's great. It's great that you have that community. You go on another channel, it turns out they're on it as well, and you see them in the chat and things like that. But it's been been a month or two since I've been live. I put out a premiere and that, but it's not the same as going live, But I will plan the next one and hopefully have people up on panel. Oh, the lights in the mirror behind me. I'm trying to figure it out now. Oh, do you know where that is? That over here is overlooking the city. I'm sorry I can't move the camera on that, but that is this door that's in the mirror is my patio door out to my balcony, and actually it's quite nice. At night time, you can overlook the whole city and that. Unfortunately, there's 3-story houses built right across the road, and it kind of spoiled that view a bit. Because we used to be able to see the fireworks on Halloween night from that balcony, and you could see the whole lights of the whole city. And, it's about 100 yards away, they built 3-story houses in front of it, and a lot of that view is now blocked out and that. But, at night time it's nice. It's a lot quieter because the busy road outside isn't half as busy, And because it's outside on a busy road, I have really, really thick glass. It's triple glazed, But that's what you see in the mirror there. That's the curtain. That is the patio door, and that is part of the city outside. But I'm actually on the outskirts. I'm close to the border with Donegal, and this area, it's like a new town. I actually haven't been out in about 3 weeks. And I only discovered this evening that there's houses being built beside me. And that field beside me is all being developed for housing. And we just recently got a shop and that. So it's like a little town outside the city and that. And a couple of fields down the way, about half a mile, you may have heard about Amelia Earhart and her journeys around the world and that. And one time she landed in Derry and thought she was in Scotland. And actually, where she had landed, the field down about a mile away, down this way, is the field where she had landed her plane. And there is a museum, which I hope to get into at some stage and hope to be able to film. May or may not be able to film, but we'll see. But there is a public park and a museum called the Amelia Earhart Park and the Amelia Earhart Museum. So that is the history of the area. But the Haunted Derry book, it's full of haunted history. Derry is full of these haunted locations, and they're not documented on YouTube. I haven't seen any paranormal investigators getting into any of these places. I've looked and I can't find any. And hopefully me and Rachel will at some stage be able to get access to some of those locations. And if not, we will go on the Derry Wall and we'll do paranormal investigations around there. We had planned one night to do a paranormal investigation around the old school, which is now the Verbal Arts Centre, which I just spoke to you about. And Rachel says to me, this is Saturday night, it's going to be awful busy, you're better off doing it some other time. I says, okay. But when I left her house, I says, I want to go up and have a look anyway. But when I was just about to get into a car, there was this bomb explosion. It just went bang, and it rocked the whole place. And that's when I got that footage of that bomb explosion. But if it went off a little time later, that bomb went off very, very close to where that school was. So in a way, that was a close one for me, when we got up within minutes before the area had sealed off, and the car just had peeled open like a banana, and it went off outside the courthouse. And the Verbal Arts Centre is just up behind the courthouse and that. And I could have been in that area at that time when that bomb went off. So we were very, very lucky, and we just haven't got around to doing an investigation around the walls. since, but we will try and do it some night, we'll try and do it. I know the city, it's it's not great to be going around places at night time and that, but we'll see if it's possible, and then we will look into, hopefully, we're going to try and find out about the abandoned cinema. It's a beautiful building with these big round pillars at the front and all these moldings around the building. It's absolutely beautiful building. And we're hoping to get some information. Try and contact the people, see if we can do an investigation. I actually was in that building for about a week. We were doing an art project, and the place where we were doing it, they had their own building, but it's been renovated. And they were using the cinema temporarily, and there was a couple of times we were sitting around a table, and the next thing, you get this cold breeze just going straight through you like that, And it was just like it just travelled past you. It's like something was going past you all the time. And people were kind of a little bit freaked out about it, but I wasn't. I kind of had walked away from paranormal at that time, but I always remember that place, So it'd be very, very interesting. We could try and get in there sometime, But we'll just see. Folks, the chat has kind of died down a little bit. I'm going to give you an opportunity to say goodbye to each other, and I'm going to go. I'm parched for a cup of tea, and I have a couple of things to do. But thanks very much for all the people that came on to this unplanned stream. But hopefully I will get on soon with something planned. And, we'll see you the next time, folks. There's 6. Oh, I can see up at the top here, there's 6 people in chat. Folks, I'm going to give you an opportunity to say goodbye to each other, and I'm going to go. I want to thank everybody for coming on and getting involved in the chat, get the community together. It's been a long time since we got to talk to each other. Hopefully, the next time we'll have something planned. Some agendas planned, and maybe people up on the panel and stuff like that. So, folks, I'm going to leave it, and I will see you the next time. End broadcast, folks. End broadcast. See you soon, folks, and thank you very much for your support. Thanks very much for coming on. Absolutely brilliant that you came on, and I appreciate every single one of you. Bye, Sandra. Bye, Chris. Bye, Jane. Gillian. Gillian is already gone. Jane. Bye, everyone. Right, I'm going to go, folks. I'll see you the next time. Hopefully, plan something. We'll try. What I wanted to do was get a live up every week. A live studio up every week. And the reason why I wanted to do this, because sometimes I'm sick and that, and I'm at home and that, but I was even too sick to actually come on live. But hopefully that will change, folks, and I will get more lives done and get people together. We get some topics to talk about and stuff like that. But yeah, Fiona, I believe in fairies. I didn't see in the chat, Fiona. I'm really sorry, and I'm very, very thankful that you've been here. But I didn't see in the chat, and I'm really sorry that I didn't say hello to you if you hadn't come in. If I missed you in the chat, I'm really sorry, and I really, really appreciate that you came in and stuff like that. But we will have planned streams coming up soon. Right, I'm going to go, folks. I'm going to end broadcast, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, folks.